March 2018, a Nintendo Direct was approaching its end. Nintendo just revealed some Splatoon 2 DLC, but they had one more announcement left to give. The teaser for the new Smash Bros. Game for Nintendo Switch coming out later that year. This trailer showed that the Inklings from Splatoon would be joining along with Link's Breath of the Wild design, leading speculation to go nuts. This would mark the beginning of what I like to call the Ultimate Smash Bros. Hype cycle, one of my favorite things that I had the pleasure of following as a Nintendo fan. Today I'll be revisiting all the major announcements and explaining the importance of each part of this epic saga of one of the greatest marketing campaigns in video game history. Now, the proper reveal for the Nintendo Switch's Super Smash Bros. Would happen in June of 2018 at that year's E3, where Nintendo dedicated the second half of their special E3 Nintendo Direct to Smash Bros. Masahiro Sakurai, creator, director, and face of the Super Smash Bros. Series, presented this segment, introducing the first reveal trailer by pointing out the numbers and name tags that would show up when a character appeared in the trailer. The numbers told you when the character was introduced in the series. For example, Mario would be number 1, or Ice Climbers would be number 14, which was an odd thing to point out when we figured there would be some characters cut or not appearing in this installment, like in every Smash Bros. Game. Okay, so I never told anyone this thought before the reveal trailer came out, but with rumors that Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch would be an enhanced port of the Wii U game, I daydreamed that they can use this opportunity to bring back every Smash character, especially since Smash 4 already had the most cast presence, so imagine my glee when I figured out the gimmick of this reveal trailer was that everyone was here. Ultimate is a new game, but it smartly reuses and tweaks assets from Smash 4 to bring back everyone for a reasonable development cycle. From Nintendo Classics to the wild third-party picks, every character represented from the Super Smash Bros. Series plus more were gonna be in this game. After that phenomenal reveal trailer, which gave the game's final name as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or Super Smash Bros. Special if you're in Japan, Sakurai broke down the changes in the game's mechanics and characters in more detail, which included giving some of the clone characters a new way to be categorized as Echo Fighters. I wish they went further with this concept in the final game, but it's still a great concept to get more characters in while not making a whole new moveset from scratch. And it was nice to see Daisy was going to be an Echo Fighter for Peach to solidify the concept. The Direct ended with a brand new character being revealed, and this was a long requested one. Ridley from Metroid was finally becoming playable after a couple games of being a boss encounter. This cemented the tone and expectation of Ultimate's fighter reveals going forward, that of long-standing requests and pipe dreams coming true. And the fun was only just beginning, as 2 months later in August, a Smash Bros. Exclusive Direct would not only reveal 2 more Echo Fighters in Chrom from Fire Emblem and Dark Samus from Metroid Prime, but it would give us 2 beautifully animated trailers showcasing newcomers. The first trailer showcased new third-party fighters, with Simon and Richter Belmont coming in from Konami's Castlevania. This makes sense since the OG Castlevania games did get their start on the NES, being infamous classics on that system, though it was still impressive to get other Konami characters in the game, as from what we understand, Solid Snake took a lot of convincing to come back for Ultimate. And the nice cherry on top is seeing Luigi going ghost hunting in the Castlevania castle, which is such a fun way to play into the crossover. The other trailer was a long fan-requested character, King K. Rool from Donkey Kong Country. He was a Mii costume in Smash 4, but here he was as a full-fledged beefy fighter with some of the best animations in the game, along with a great remix of his theme song that was played in his reveal. I also liked how his trailer played up how Ultimate was filling in gaps for rivals and villains that haven't been represented in Smash yet, something that would continue even after the game launched. Isabelle from Animal Crossing would be revealed in the September Nintendo Direct. She's a solid modern Nintendo pick, don't got much to say here, but the final 2 characters from the base game were going to show up at the next Smash Bros. Direct in November, just 1 month before the game's December 7th release date. And there was a lot riding on this Direct at the time, to the point where the infamous Grinch leak spread around and basically became fact in Nintendo circles until the Direct came out, named that because the supposed leak had a poster for Illumination's Grinch movie that was releasing around the time. The Direct began with Ken Masters from Street Fighter being revealed as an Echo Fighter for Ryu. Now, for a brief few seconds, people thought the Grinch leak was real because Ken was on the Grinch leak roster, but then Incineroar Pokemon came in to deconfirm the legitimacy of that leak. I'll be honest, ending Ultimate's base roster on a Pokemon, a series that's already been represented in Smash many times, was always weird to me instead of a third-party pick, but Incineroar's not a bad Pokemon pick as we didn't have many grappler types in Smash before. But the Direct did make up for it by announcing that DLC was coming and by showcasing a very cool story mode cinematic. As for that DLC, the first character coming to Ultimate post-launch was gonna be the Piranha Plant as a standalone launch bonus joke character. And honestly, if we were gonna get more Mario characters, I think the next logical step would be something from the RPGs, but a joke character character is still a great idea, and he references PD Piranha in his final Smash, who does have Super Smash Bros. Legacy as a boss fight in Brawl. Normally, this is where the Smash hype train would end, especially with the base game being done and dusted, but you could argue that Ultimate's hype train in specific was only just getting started, as a day before the game fully launched, it was shown at the 2018 Game Awards that Joker from Persona 5, the main character of one of the most popular and critically acclaimed RPGs of the last 10 years, would be joining as the first fighter of Wave 1, setting the tone for more third-party non-Nintendo fighters to join Smash with the DLC picks. It also cemented the Persona series and Atlas RPGs in general as a big blockbuster gaming franchise after being in a more niche light for so long. The next two DLC characters would be revealed at E3 2019, which would have multiple versions of Dragon Quest Hero and Banjo-Kazooie joining the fight. Dragon Quest representation in Smash feels like a no-brainer of it being one of the most popular and long-lasting RPG series ever, especially in Japan, and I liked how they were able to squeeze in representation of the whole series, even if the character was mostly based on Dragon Quest XI. Banjo, on the other hand, is another big fan-requested character from the western side of the fanbase, especially after Microsoft said during the Smash 4 days that they would be open to collaborating with Nintendo on a Smash character. Say what you will about the Nintendo 64 and its library of games, positive or negative, but Smash Bros. Did start on the Nintendo 64, so representing one of the more classic games of that library fits the legacy element of Smash well. Next up would be a character from an SNK fighting game, Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. SNK was just getting back on their feet at the time after a rough few financial years with King of Fighters 14 and Samurai Shodown 2019, so this was a great idea to get more eyes on their games, both new and old. Even if you didn't know SNK by name, games like Metal Slug and KOF mean so much to so many players, and Smash Bros. Is a fighting game, so it makes sense to represent fighting games, especially since it was later revealed that Sakurai beating up some poor couple at an SNK fighter inspired him to create a more casual party-based fighting game, which led to Smash Bros. Creation. Also, Sans from Undertale got into the game as a Mii costume with a new Megalovania remix to boot, which was a great moment. I'm not going to mention every cool Mii costume because after this there was a lot of cool ones, but Sans is a special one. So, the first wave of DLC was about to come to an end for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and people were pretty happy with all the characters being unique non-Nintendo picks. A streak that would end when Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses came in, pissing off a lot of people. I do love Three Houses and Byleth, but honestly Nintendo kinda shot themselves in the foot by making this the last character after 4 non-Nintendo picks. It feels like the vitriol towards Byleth would have been much lower if they were earlier in the wave instead of the very end, but hey, they're a fun character. Okay, so for covering Ultimate's Wave 2 DLC, I'm gonna break the order by mentioning Min Min from ARMS and Pyra and Mifra from Xenoblade 2 up front because they are the only 2 Nintendo fighters in the past, and I don't have much to say on them other than I'm glad they're in the game and they represent the Switch era of Nintendo solidly. I have played ARMS, I still need to get to Xenoblade 2, but they're fine picks. Now on to the more wackier picks, as we have another Microsoft character joining the battle. It's Steve from Minecraft, who would go on to break Ultimate in the competitive scene. Not a big Minecraft guy, but I love this reveal for the absurdity and amazing music that accompanied it. Besides, out of all the characters from Microsoft's pockets that fit the best into Smash Bros. Brand of goofiness, Steve is number 1. The next fighter would be a character more at my speed, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, whose trailer was just a big Advent Children love letter, and as a mild fan of that movie, I appreciate it a lot. I know some Final Fantasy fans wish that another entry besides 7 would get represented in Smash, but if Smash is focusing on gaming legacy, FF7 was a defining title for the PS1 and RPGs as a whole with an appeal outside of the core FF fanbase, so I think it kinda has to be this way. Also, speaking from personal experience, probably the most I popped off for a Smash Bros. Trailer, partially because of the use of One-Winged Angel in it. As for the penultimate character for Smash Bros. Ultimate, we have another part of fighting games represented, 3D fighters, and of course it had to be a Tekken character. I personally would have liked to see Heihachi in Smash because he's the funniest villain in gaming, but we're in the middle of Harada lying to us about 7 being the end for Heihachi, so Kazuya it is. Besides, his Double Gene does give him more wacky moves to use in this platform fighter, so I don't mind. Also, it was so fun to see Kazuya throw so many Nintendo characters off the volcanic cliff. But now we've arrived at the final fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and this is a special one to me. It makes me really happy. The trailer starts with all the characters staring at the fiery Smash logo we saw when the game was first revealed, bringing the hype train full circle. And then Mario brings the final character to join the brawl. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. My most wanted Super Smash Bros. Character for over 10 years from one of my top 3 gaming series was in Smash Bros. I nearly shed a tear. It made my day when Sakurai stated he was the most requested character according to the Smash ballot they held years ago. I remember voting for Shovel Knight back then, but Sora for Smash was always on my mind, and Sakurai did it. While the character focused a lot on his Kingdom Hearts 1 appearance for the moveset, music, and the stage, we still got Kingdom Hearts 2, 3, and even Dream Drop Distance costumes in the game. Yeah, you can complain about the toxicity of the Super Smash Bros. Fandom all you want, especially during Ultimate's hype cycle, but moments like this made me too happy to even care about what other people think. Why should I care about what some rando on social media says when I got my wish? Sora's in Smash, and it still means something to me. He's immortalized in this game forever. Thank you, Masahiro Sakurai and the Smash team, for making Super Smash Bros. Ultimate a truly special game to follow along with and play. Whatever may be next for the Super Smash Bros. Series, I eagerly await it.